All right, folks. Today's the big one. 25 episodes of Bygone Geek. 6 months of laughs, 25 weeks of awesomeness, 25 days of old man burns, 28 hours of nostalgia. One epic podcast. Flashback, happy 25th episode.
25 episodes. Like, that's quite an undertaking. That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing, and people who are going to hear that 28 hours, everyone's like, it's longer than that. It's like the average, guys. It's the average.
Yeah, for all you friends and complainers about the you got 90-minute episodes. If you notice, they've started being like 55 minutes. So I listened a little bit, but this
How
might
are they
be
on episode 25. I'm still listening to episode 1.
We had a whole bunch of people send us in just different things that were nostalgic childhood memories to them, because we just wanted to read them off and then kind of join in the flashback. Everybody has those pivotal moments in their childhood of remembering a particular game or a particular friend, or visiting their grandparents' house, or a school memory, a movie memory. It's just, we all have those things. So it's been fun looking through all of these submissions and being like, oh yeah, I totally remember that. Like, that's so cool. We wanted to kind of thank the fans and do this kind of 25th episode fan celebration and just join in the flashback with all of you. So the first person we're going to start off with, I feel like, David, you need to give the introduction for her.
It's probably, right up there, one of our biggest fans, and probably my biggest fan in my own life. It's the one who, honestly, this podcast, I'd have zero content without her in my life. 80s and 90s nostalgia. This person brought that to me in the 80s and 90s. If I wasn't stealing it. This person is my mom, and she, Mama Bear, and is just an incredible mom, incredible person, and just really, really worked hard to give us an amazing childhood, and super, super stoked she could. I told Eric, my mom's coming to visit. I think I reference her in almost every episode, and I think it'd be cool if we had her on the pod, and Eric was super stoked for it. I think he almost was ready to replace me as a host.
I did not hesitate. I was like, yes, bring her on.
So, we had my mom on, and it was just such a blast. She was so excited, and just she might be a natural a podcaster. So,
yeah.
Maybe she'll do 60s and 70s nostalgia.
Gotta expand that Bygone Geek fan base.
Bygone Geek. None other than Sharon, my mom.
Hey, Eric, I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
You guys have a great podcast. I love it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being our top listener.
You guys are so alike. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we joke about that a lot, that it's just even though we didn't share a childhood together or go to school together, the amount of stuff that we share is pretty amazing when you think about it, other than the fact of his poor decisions of liking Chris O'Donnell and hating Bill Murray. That's one of the things I can't stand for.
Well, and then he liked, I can't remember his name, the guy in Star Wars that I agreed with you, he was whiny.
Oh, Hayden Christensen?
Yeah, he's whiny.
Oh, I can't wait for David to hear this. I told he was just like, oh, I'm not going to be able to hear it without the headphones. But yeah, I'm glad you agree that, he was very whiny.
You turned her against me! You have done that yourself.
Did you have any movies from when you were a kid that was your favorite movie as a child?
You might laugh at this one. So I lived in Puerto Rico for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We were an Air Force brat, and I remember seeing Star Trek in Spanish, and it scared the crap out of me. So I never watched Star Trek in English after that.
Oh, really?
It was
wow.
spooky. Yeah.
So, with you listening to the podcast each week, how did it make you feel to find out that your son is a thief of wrestling figures?
Oh my God, I was so mad.
What's that?
I was so mad
With what?
that you're a thief. I text him and I said, "Stop saying that. Everybody can hear that you're a thief." I'm so embarrassed.
You turned her against me! You have done that yourself.
Your mom is the sweetest person ever, and I love her reactions to different things, specifically your wrestling figure thievery. Like, she's just so sweet and so charming and so wholesome. And yeah, I also appreciate the fact that she agrees that Hayden Christensen is whiny.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, now that I feel like we kicked it off the appropriate way with the number one Bygone Geek fan, we're going to head into the fan submissions. So the very first one we have is from a guy named Steven. And he said the phenomenon of POGs. It was a total black market and everyone was insane about them. I did really like my metal 8-ball slammer and also a metal one that looked like a circular saw blade.
Do you think POGs will ever make a comeback?
I feel like it takes one Instagram influencer, a Gen Z Instagram influencer, to stumble across some POGs at his Goodwill and to create a video, and suddenly it's widespread again. You never know. You really
POGs
never
on
know.
TikTok. I mean, it could happen. The next is from our buddy Paul. So Paul says, he did advanced D&D, which I think is just code for like super nerd, in the basement with the neighbor kids. And he said it was straight up Stranger Things vibes. Did you have, or do you have a lot of experience with D&D growing up?
I never played D&D. I was from that category of growing up in a Christian conservative household. And like we talked about in like the Retro Jukebox episode and other episodes, like Metallica was the devil. Like anything like that, you don't listen to Metallica, you don't touch a Ouija board, you don't do any of this stuff.
Mama says Metallica's the devil.
Mama says you're gonna unleash a hole straight from hell.
Our other buddy, Eric, different Eric, he says, in the summer, I remember going into the garage fridge and eating as many Flintstone push pops as I could, and then going back into the swimming pool. I usually brought many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures or Legos in there too. Those were the days. It was like 2 a.m. the other night. My daughter had been building, and she's got these bigger Lego sets, and she left them in the hallway. Ooh. And oh man, it happened. I stepped on it going into the bathroom.
Did you trip and fall and hit your head on the toilet and invent time travel?
I wish. That would have been a positive.
And when I came to, I had a revelation, a vision, a picture in my head.
Our next one is from Tyler, and he said Pizza Hut buffets, the smell of Marlboro and pepperoni. And I was like, there was probably that smoky, hazy smell, right?
Well, that's back when the smoking section was not really separated. Like it was, and even when they started separating them, like there wasn't a barrier. It was just a corner. And so I remember that. I remember a lot of restaurants always, it had a hint of nicotine and smoke in them at all times.
Smoking or non-smoking? Non-smoking. Smoking!
Sister, you don't smoke?
No, I don't. But I did.
You and Dave might be aligned in the same age here. He says always needing batteries, which of course I agree.
Oh, for
and
sure.
then Radio Shack having a battery of the month club. Mm-hmm. And then we all agreed you get 3 hours of fun per 36 hours of a charge, whether it was on your RC cars or something like that.
Is this AA? Is this AAA? Is this the D batteries? Like, do you remember the D batteries? Like, those things were so huge. I don't even think...
like shotgun shells, it seemed or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Something that Terminator would wear on his chest.
A bandolier of D batteries.
That'd be the cool kid in the neighborhood. You need a D battery. But actually in a battle, he'd reload that way.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
That'd be sick.
Oh, man. That'd be so cool.